Hello everyone, here from NAB Show 2018, and I'm here with Brian Byrne, Director of Sales of Freefly Systems. He's got one very interesting piece of new gear. That's the Movi. Maybe, Brian.
Our Movi. This is our Movi, our cinema robot from Freefly. Just started shipping about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. We're very excited about it. There's cinema-like moves for the masses for your iPhone.
So maybe you can walk us through like the technical specifications and a little bit about the product.
I'd love to. You know, first and foremost, like no other camera stabilizer, it's flat on the bottom. You can set it down. You can do time lapses. You can do smart pod. Any of the movements you can do on a tabletop, on a cliff face, wherever you want. You can set it down. You don't need a tripod for it. You'll get about somewhere between 6 to 8 hours of runtime. It will outlast your iPhone charge many times over. We have a lot of fun. Here, I'll move it this way so we can get a better look for it. A lot of fun modes. We have Majestic, which is your standard camera stabilizer mode that we like to call Majestic at Freefly. Echo mode, which lets you set keyframes or AB points. The gimbal will actually do the camera movement for you, which you can also do in our Timelapse mode, which is really, really exciting. You can do a big, long, beautiful sweeping pan from A to B point over whatever duration of time you'd like. Movi Lapse, which is kind of our secret sauce of a hyperlapse, which is a really, really fun mode if you ask me. Barrel roll, which is one of my favorites. You can do a 360-degree roll. I call it vortex mode, or like an inception roll. And there's just a lot of little secret kind of little settings inside where you can change your response time, your window. You can actually set your tilt and tell it what you want horizon to be, and it'll hold that horizon for you. We'll show a little roll, which is always fun. Get a full roll right there, and we could go all the way around as many times as we want.
And what about the battery and the connection here? How do I connect it? And maybe how do I power my phone here?
So we have a USB-C connection right here. You can charge your batteries. They're 18650s, replaceable, also rechargeable. You can get a USB-C to Lightning adapter, and you can actually charge your phone from the gimbal and use both at the exact same time. But like I said, this will outlast the charge in your phone many times over. So you can use this as a power bank, power both, operate both at the exact same time.
Maybe you can give us a short overview of all the settings that we see here in the screen, like the roll, the tilt mode, all these types of features.
Perfect. So the roll lock will allow you to either lock roll, obviously, which if you lock it, it will set your horizon and you'll never lose your horizon. Tilt will actually keep the horizon on the tilt plane, and you can tell it, like I said, you can lock it and it'll hold it there. Otherwise, if you unlock that, it will track and follow you as you move the gimbal, like a normal stabilizer movement as you would expect it to behave. Some of the other modes, some of the other settings, like I said, we have AB mode, where you can actually set A points, set B points, just keyframes, and you can actually trigger it, and it's going to count down from 3, and it's going to do the move for you, so you don't have to do any work, really.
What about the buttons here? What can you do with them?
Great question. So these, we decided that we get a more cinematic look from driving the gimbal movement with your hand, with your arm movement. So these will be user assignable. These are control pads. So right here, we'll let you switch actually to the front camera. So if you want to take a selfie, you can toggle between that. You can do exposure. You can adjust your exposure or this.
Step exposure.
Yep. And then you can actually do the center D-pad and go back to auto exposure. This will go into playback, so you can look at your last clip, or you can also click this play button and you can look at all of your previous clips that you've selected.
If I want to do like a longer time-lapse video, how do I set up the Movi?
Perfect question. So you would go into time-lapse mode, which also lets you allow AB keyframes, so you can do a big long sweeping pan. You can also change your duration. So let's say we want our target end of the clip out to be a 30-second time lapse, but we want it to be a much longer time lapse. We change the compression. Let's take it all the way up to 100 time. That's a 50-minute time lapse that's going to be compressed down to 30 seconds. And you can change the duration you want. So you actually tell it what you want your target clip to last.
What is the maximum that I can do?
Let's find out. You could do a 2-minute time lapse, and that would be 3 hours and 20 minutes at maximum compression. You can take that down. There's an hour turning into 2 minutes. But if you want a really, really long, sweeping, beautiful time lapse, you can up it all the way.
What are some of the other USPs about the product that we haven't been talking about so far?
I think a really, really fun one is our barrel roll, where I touched on it, but you can actually trigger it and you can tell it which direction, clockwise or counterclockwise, and you trigger it, and it's actually going to do the roll for you, and it's going to keep target locked for you right there as well. It's a really, really fun feature.
That's amazing. That's amazing. There are so many features within a small product like this.
Definitely.
So how much is it gonna cost, and when will it be available?
So the good news is we've started shipping limited quantities, but we're expecting to really ramp up and just fire these out the door really soon. $299 US is the list price. They're available worldwide, either through freeflysystems.com or any of our trusted resellers and dealers worldwide. We're really, really excited. This is what we like to call, pro-level gimbal cinema stabilizer for your iPhone. And we think it's really, really important for content creators to be able to get the same type of content out of their phone that they're getting out of a Pro Cine camera.
So, Brian, thank you so much for giving us some of the very in-depth information about the Movi, and thank you very much for tuning in with Movi from Freefly Systems.